All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And Gabe and I are here to react. I'm excited. I'm not sure about him, to some more Beatles, baby. I still don't trust you with how you feel about the Beatles. Which one we checking out today?
I've enjoyed the last few ones you've given me. Right now we're looking at Lady Madonna. And it's funny because when you put it on, I was like, Lady Madonna. And we went to the conversation. What would you call it? A pre-production meeting? And he was like, not that Madonna. I know that, not that Madonna. She's not that old. I mean, she's getting old these days. But I'm an 80s child, so I grew up with Madonna. You know what? I never realized that, first and foremost, that like Madonna wasn't her real name until
none of these people out there are real names.
I got much older. And then she was one of the very first artists that I can remember. It was her, Prince, and Cher. That they just go by one name. You know what I mean? It was Prince. It was Cher. It was Madonna. So it's interesting that Nick did the research. It's an Italian word, actually. So that's where she got the word Madonna from.
Maybe Madonna actually is her name. Says she was born Madonna Louise Sacconi.
Interesting. I thought it wasn't her real name. I mean, because most of the artists, like Cher's real name is
Well Done
Cher,
Parents.
And neither is Prince, you know what I mean? I mean, even
his name's not the artist formerly known as Prince?
The artist formerly known as Prince. You know why he changed his name too, right? Because of copyright stuff. And it was crazy because I remember listening to this thing where they're like, once company, the music company owns that name, they own you basically. So he's like, okay, I'll just re-record it. He was one of the first. I know Taylor Swift recently did it. That's why she re-recorded all her stuff and released it. But I was like, okay, no problem. I'm no longer Prince. I'm the artist formerly known as Prince. And then he copyrighted and traded that. Like I made you, like, because these people get them to sign these contracts when they're super young. They don't have any money for any lawyers. They're just happy to be in the business business.
Those contracts are so
those
messed up.
Music contracts are literally they should be criminal, man. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
So
and they make these artists, like with the TLC, like it always breaks my heart. They make the artists pay for their music videos.
Yeah, it's insane.
What are you doing to help move this besides put stuff in stores?
I'm allowing you to use my platform.
Exactly. It should be the other way around. It's my music. So Cher's first name actually is Sherilyn. So Cher comes from her name. I
guess she shortened it, correct? She shortened it.
Three.
She shortened it.
But you know I had to prove you wrong.
Yeah, dude, we do this all day long at school too. Baseball, facts, football, whatever it might be. If there's a random fact we're not sure about, we will debate it. And Nick loves to fact check. That should be actually your next career in life after you're done checking. You should be like a MSNBC or a fact checker. Wait. Let me double check.
Well, nowadays with Google, everyone's a fact checker. Michael Keaton, this is so random. I want to say his real name is actually Michael Douglas, but there was already an actor. Yeah, his name is Michael Douglas, but there was already an actor named Michael Douglas, so he had to change it to Michael Keaton. How crazy is that?
How do you know that?
I watched it on something.
Just random information.
Because this stuff always comes up in different conversations, TV or videos or whatever.
That's funny.
But that one I've known for years. Anyways. We're going to go and check out Lady Madonna. If you like our reaction, please don't forget to
like and subscribe.
And as my chair continues to speak, it wants to be the star of the show. Let's check this out.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet. Sunday morning creeping like a nun. Monday's child has learned to tie his bootlace. See how they run. Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to
pause this for a second.
beat the rest.
Who is this? This isn't Paul
John. I think it's John.
That's not John Lennon.
I think it's John.
That is not John Lennon.
The guy's eclectic.
That is not his voice. I was gonna say, is that Ringo Starr?
No, I'm pretty sure it's John.
Really? I know it's not Paul
McCartney. We'll look at the fact checker. We'll look into it later.
The fact checker will look into it later. That is so different than Imagine and all the other.
This is like one of their more, like, at least his voice, more country song than, in my opinion.
if this is his voice, he has a lot of range, man.
He does.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
There's no way I don't think it's Ringo, because Ringo has a very deeper voice, and he has sang a few songs for the Beatles. It's not. I don't think it's George. I think it's John.
Did George Harrison actually ever sing anything?
He did. He
Yeah,
did.
okay.
I don't know.
Oh, wait,
far
George
as the
Harrison
Beatles, but he wrote
Why
Here
My
Comes the
Guitar
Sun,
Gently Weeps, right?
and that one
Okay,
too.
cool.
And then he toured solo for a long time. My dad loved his music,
Okay.
and his voice isn't very different. It's different, but not very different than the other Beatles lead singers.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why I don't know. It wasn't his job, but yeah, he's sang those songs. He has a beautiful voice.
Interesting.
These are the words, the microphone. I think it's him.
See how they run. Lady Madonna, lying on the bed. Listen to the music playing in your
Oh, he had the longest shoes. That's cool. That's cool.
Tuesday afternoon is never ending. Wednesday morning papers didn't come. Thursday night your stockings needed mending. See how they run. Lady Madonna, children at your feet.
This is gonna be added. This is added right away. Okay.
That's Lobster.
I didn't even get to the whole song, dude. It's just like feel good, you know what I mean? Feel joy music. Like, I gotta know whose voice it is. It does not sound like John Lennon, but I love this song. I feel like it's more of their older music, even though Paul still looks kind of young in that picture, you know what I mean?
More recent music.
He's got more recent, correct? He's got that younger baby face about him. But man, that was super cool. And listen, Lady Madonna. Every time you guys see me do the add it, that means I'm gonna do it right now, because then I forget. And I've how many times I've texted you, hey, what was that song again we played, so I can add it? So now I just do it now.
Let's see. Written primarily by Paul McCartney. Credited to Linda McCartney.
Lead
The
vocals.
song played. McCartney sang his lead vocal in a style that author Ian MacDonald terms whatever. While Lennon, McCartney, and Harrison contributed backup vocals, part of which consisted of singers imitating brass instruments. Significance of McCartney. That was McCartney singing?
That was Paul McCartney's voice?
I would have bet $1 million.
That was
it
crazy.
wasn't
Yeah, and
his.
they had a saxophone too. Like, they even threw that little bit of
Oh,
jazz.
they put a bunch of
Like,
stuff
bro,
in
this
there.
is so... It's more mature, you know what I mean? It's very layered.
Wow.
The song is very layered.
I still don't believe it.
We were both wrong. Okay, I said there's no way it was McCartney, and then you like Lennon. I think it's that. I said, no, it doesn't sound like that. I thought it was one of the other
You're
guys.
an idiot. It's not him.
I'm like,
Paul McCartney. Lead
wow.
vocals. Wow.
That is bananas that he's got
he
that
got
kind
credit
of
for
range.
hand claps too.
Y'all let it go.
I'm curious if this album that this was on came after Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds is a very landmark album by the Beach Boys. And Brian Wilson, who you got to watch the documentary on them, but I've been a fan of the Beach Boys forever. He was more interested in creating music than actually performing it. So there was a good part where the main member of the Beach Boys wasn't out there touring with the band. He was just obsessed with sounds and
What's
music
funny
and
is-
writing.
I only know one Beach Boys song, and it was because it was on every 80s TV show you could think of. The Bermuda, Jamaica, ooh, I
Kokomo.
want to take you to Bahama. Well, I don't know the rest of the song, but it was
Come
on
on,
every
pretty mama.
single 80s show you could think about.
Montego.
That song was huge.
We go down to
We should react to it sometime. Let us know if you guys want us to react to
The
that.
Beach Boys have a huge catalog of them. I am a huge fan of the Beach Boys. And as they went, I mean, they started off with like the surfing in the U.S. They started with that stuff. And it's funny because they were called the Beach Boys thing. They were called the Beach Boys even though only one of them surfed. The rest of them did not. So they didn't know how to. They couldn't surf. But anyways, Pet Sounds it wasn't commercially huge. It didn't sell a lot of records compared to their other stuff. But artistically and musically, it was way above its time, to the point where even the Beatles called them up and said, hey, that was pretty good. So I'm curious if this came after that, because I think they were a little bit inspired by like the different sounds you can do, not just hand claps. It's been around since forever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all credited with hand claps.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious because it definitely has those different things going on.
A lot going on, but it was layered well. They threw the jazz element in there with the saxophone. They had the trombone. What do you call that? The thing.
Yeah, like the tambourine.
So I loved it. Added it. I think one of the first time I added it right in the middle of the song, dude. It was dope. Before. It was dope with the Beatles.
Maybe not the Beatles. Maybe not the Beatles.
Not the Beatles. As I said, the first added it with the Beatles. Like it's exciting. And it's upbeat music, and I'm a positive person, so I try to always have that fun music, and that is feel good music. That's how I would categorize it. You know what I mean? So loved it. That's my opinion, though. Let us know what your opinion is, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time,
adios.